Hi everyone. Yes, I wanted to do another stream because the previous stream I did about Bobby Beausoleil's 1985 parole hearing and the reason he got declined. I read out another article, but something went weirdly wrong with the sound and I had to cut it out. And the article was actually quite good. It's got some good information in it. And I thought we could also look at a couple of articles. I won't read them out, but they're interviews with Bobby and there's some good pictures that we can look at. This will be quite a short stream. But yeah, it's just because I wanted to try and re-record this article and hope that it goes well this time. So thanks for coming. Yeah, don't know how many people will actually make it in the end, but yeah, thanks for coming anyway. And we'll actually read it out. And I'll do a after show probably as well. And I'll make sure there's chapters. If you want to skip straight to the article being read out, we've got to talk to everyone there for a minute because it's a live stream. Yeah, actually got a notification, did you? Oh, that's good. Be good sign. Some people say they don't. Yeah, I did. I posted on the communities tab and on the subreddit. And if you're in the Facebook group, I invite the whole group to every stream that I'm doing anyway. So yeah, people know about it. But yeah, it's a weird night, isn't it? I just wanted to do it tonight because I didn't want to disrupt the May Brussels thing that I'd planned for Sunday that I announced I'd do on Sunday. But yeah, it was just frustrating. This article is good. So yeah. Should just get on with it. And I watched the chat this time. Let me know if it was really weird. Yeah, but I watched it back and there was no explanation for that. It could only be my internet connection, but nothing was showing up. It was really weird. Yeah, the audio was sped up and bits were missing, and it was just really weird, wasn't it? And it was only when I was reading that article. It was normal for all the rest of it. And I had turned my mic down a bit. I don't think that helped as well with the audio for the rest of it. Hopefully it's better now. Let me know what it sounds like. Yes, this is the article, and this is on the subreddit. You don't have to be a member of Reddit to look at the subreddit as well, like the Facebook group. You have to be part of Facebook to join the Facebook group, obviously, but Reddit you can just look at. You can look at this article yourself if you want to actually read it for yourself. Right. Bobby Beausoleil, after 15 years, Convict nears eventual release. Bobby Beausoleil is an admitted killer who has been in prison for 16 years and who was once associated with Charles Manson's family, but he's different from other killers in Manson's circle. Everyone agrees, even prosecutors and the Board of Prison Terms, that he'll be released someday soon. When he is, there's a very good chance he'll be paroled to Rio Grande, where his wife lives. Things weren't supposed to turn out like this for Beausoleil. In the late 1960s, he knew and played music with world-famous musicians Neil Young, Dennis Wilson, and the Grateful Dead. His only scrapes with the law were a leash law violation in 1956 and a traffic warrant in 1969. That same year, Beausoleil met and made music with Charles Manson, and he killed another musician, Gary Hinman. I committed an atrocious act, Beausoleil said, and it's very difficult to come to terms with that. With two accomplices, Beausoleil went to Hinman's home, July 27, 1969, demanding money. According to prosecutors, Hinman was terrorized for a day and a half. Beausoleil eventually stabbed Hinman to death after forcing him to sign the pink slips on his cars over to Beausoleil. He was arrested in Hinman's car in San Luis Obispo County a few days later. 2 days later, Manson's followers started on their spree of killing that left 7 dead and terrorized Los Angeles. In April 1970, while his parents and 14-year-old brother watched and wept, Beausoleil was convicted of the killing. Hinman's brutal murder, coupled with the stigma of Manson's notoriety, has kept Beausoleil in prison for 16 years, 4 years longer than the average murder term. There are a lot of different kinds of casualties from the 60s, Beausoleil said, and I think maybe my case is one of those casualties. Prosecutors said that Beausoleil, now 38, killed Hinman on Manson's orders during an extortion attempt. Beausoleil said he murdered Hinman over drugs, that Hinman burned him and his motorcycle gang, the Straight Satans, on a mescaline deal. Because of what he did as a self-described naive youth, Beausoleil is still in prison. The Board of Prison Terms has consistently refused to grant him a release date, citing the heinous nature of the crime. He doesn't know when he will get out. The nature of the crime will never change, Beausoleil said. But the idea of a parole hearing is that you're judged on what has happened since then. Quite a bit has happened since Beausoleil took Hinman's life. At his last parole hearing in 1985, the Board of Prison Terms noted that Beausoleil is proof that rehabilitation can work. Prisoner sure helped you, board member Ray Jerigal of San Luis Obispo told Beausoleil. A lot of people come here and don't do anything. You're one of the exceptions. One can get a good idea of Beausoleil's progress by looking at his psychiatric reports. 1974. Antisocial, angry, and lonely. He is killed without compunction or remorse, and he could do so again. 1977. Improved. His behaviour has become increasingly oriented towards art and creativity rather than destructiveness. 1978. Beausoleil appears to be maturing over the years. Although he is capable of violence, it would take some prodding. 1979. Violence potential is below average compared to other inmates. 1982. This man no longer has any antisocial focus. 1984. Beausoleil can successfully complete parole and become a productive member of society. Behind bars, Beausoleil continued his work in music, building electronic musical instruments, scoring a film, and leading prison bands. Beausoleil didn't have even a high school education when he went to prison. When he took his high school equivalency test, he passed it with the highest scores ever recorded in the state prison system, according to the instructors. He went far beyond that, with thousands of hours of woodworking and electronics experience. He built an electronic guitar synthesizer that he hopes to sell. He has written long, intricately detailed articles for electronics journals, bringing high praise from experts in the field. Beausoleil's prison file is stuffed with letters of recommendation, laudatory chronos from educators and evaluators praising his work. Besides that, he has a wife and job offers waiting on the outside, two key factors in a successful parole. Together with his wife, Barbara, publish artwork and newsletters, some of which led to trouble and had a hand in Beausoleil being denied parole last December when a prosecutor accused him of publishing child pornography. Barbara Beausoleil said she didn't know what she was getting into when she married him 4.5 years ago. He'd been in prison 12 years then. The possibility that he'd get out soon seemed bright. Before Bobby, Barbara hadn't met that one special man. She said that the feeling grew worse after a failed first marriage. I thought, I'm not going to find him in this town. She was living in Sacramento, and one night in 1981, after a long day of work, she turned on the TV, just for some company. A news crew was interviewing a prisoner at nearby dual vocational institution at Tracy. This young man in prison who had built the synthesizer. Music fascinated her. I think making music is about the most noble thing you can do in life, she said. The man on TV fascinated her more. He was in prison, the most restricted place in the world, yet he was positive and creative. I thought that was really remarkable. She called the prison and asked for his name, just to send him a note of encouragement. They became pen pals in October 1981. Barbara went to San Francisco for a Rolling Stones concert and on the way stopped to see the man. He looked awful, she recalled. His hair was all greasy. Yet the spark was there. His enthusiasm and energy came through loud and clear, she said. The next time she visited Beausoleil, he was cleaned up. He looked better. She started visiting weekly. In November, I asked him to marry me, she said, and in December we were married. Bobby had been transferred to CMC, and they were married outside the building there, December 18th, 1981. The name Beausoleil meant nothing to her, and she was taken aback when she learned he was associated with Charles Manson. All I remember was the horror when it came out, she said. But when she learned that Bobby's crime wasn't the Tate LaBianca murders, she was relieved. I felt much better about it. It wasn't one of those senseless killings of someone you don't even know. She now lives in a small house off Corbett Canyon Road near Rio Grande. She works in a Pismo Beach restaurant and continues to operate her publishing company, B&B Enterprises, out of her home. She paints, writes, and dances. She visits her husband once or twice a week and gets conjugal visits every 3 months or so. Though they've never lived together, Barbara looks forward to Bobby's release. It'll be interesting, she admitted with a laugh. There are so many things we want to do together. We're both artists. I have no doubt we'll do real well once he's out. They may get to do it where they want, in Rio Grande. While officials of the Department of Corrections won't comment on Beausoleil's specific case, they do acknowledge that someone in his situation would stand a very good chance of being paroled to a Rio Grande. 85% of all parolees go back to the place where the crime was committed. In Beausoleil's case, that would be Los Angeles. But they're paroled to different counties. If the parole evaluators feel there's a better support structure there, Bob Gore of the Department of Corrections, like if they got family that lives somewhere else or offer of a job. Beausoleil has both of those in Rio Grande. He has neither in Los Angeles. The objective of parole is to help a felon return to society, Gore said. Obviously, if there's a job, it increases the person's chance of staying out. My hope is to live with my wife, where she's living now in Rio Grande, Beausoleil said. Beausoleil told the parole board last December. I'm sure you're going to get there, board member Joe Acedo told him. There you go, and that was back in 1985. And he still hasn't, has he? It looks, yeah, and it's like she says she was relieved when he found out he wasn't part of TLB. Was it a senseless killing of someone you don't even know? Seems like a strange way to look at it, doesn't it? Yeah. And that's not acknowledging that the save a brother. Well, there's 28 people here now. Hello, everyone. Didn't think so many people would turn up. And did the sound? Yeah, I was watching the chat. The sound didn't go funny for that one, did it? I just thought that was interesting. And there was more comment from his wife as well. And yeah, more talk of that synthesizer thing that he made. Yeah, like I say, we'll look at the interviews in a minute. Yeah, she sounds nuts. Must be, yeah, yeah. You're like, oh, that's all right. At least it wasn't someone you didn't even know. That makes it all right, or it makes it better somehow. In some ways, it makes it worse, doesn't it? Because the person trusted you, sort of. Better version of that picture. The 360s above his head. That's the band. I had not really heard of these. I hadn't really read a lot about him. But yeah, he had this band as well. And that's them on the set of Lisa Horizon, I think, was it? So it says. No, just the Magic Powerhouse of Oz. It says. That's the caption. So is that not orchestra then? No, I assume that is orchestra. And this is, yeah, a different angle I've seen with the same day. There's a more famous picture of him in that hat as well, stood outside that door. Yeah, no. He meant Barbara, not me, Sam. Yeah, he was rhythm guitarist for Love. I read in one of these articles when I was researching him as well. They had to kick him out because he was too young to play in the clubs. That was why he left Love. But he was older by the time he met Manson and that, so that must have been quite early on. So if he was, well, did you have to be 21 to be able to play in a club or whatever? I don't know. It'd be 18, wouldn't it? It's just his name. But yeah, this is the more famous picture of him in that hat. That must be from the same day, that other photo. I hadn't seen that before. The other one, anyway. Yeah, speaking of nuts, that camera angle, staring straight up him. Someone said speaking of nuts in the chat, yeah, in case people are wondering why I said that, watching this on playback, not seeing the chat, yeah. And that's them. That's definitely orchestra. San Francisco, 1967. So yeah, when did you play with us? This is back in 67. Yeah. Yeah, so he actually did a long prison sentence for something ridiculous, didn't he, as well? He apparently took the rap for someone else. Someone discharged a gun. They didn't even shoot anyone. That's the weirdest thing. But they had illegally discharged a gun. And Arthur Lee is supposed to have taken the rap for someone else. He didn't even do it. But he ended up doing a ridiculous amount of time in prison. We can believe it when I read it. Yeah. What? No, Arthur Lee. I thought Arthur Lee was all right. Arthur Lee took the rap for someone else, apparently, didn't he? It was what I heard. He didn't even do it, it turned out. And that's a poster for him. $1.50 on the door. Wow. Yeah, so Photo Johnson. Arthur Lee. Yeah, he was a good singer, definitely, wasn't he? And did he play instruments as well? I've only ever seen him singing, but I don't know if he played any other instruments as well. I think I've seen him do harmonica as well. I'm not sure. But yeah, and this I don't know if this is Bobby's art. Look, but this is I think that's a poster for them. So make sure this is linked in the description if you're watching this on playback and you look at it yourself. Right? Can't get it all on the screen at once. Keep scrolling up and down. We're going in the door picker Bobby. You're watching a Billy Bragg gig at Liverpool Pierhead once. In front of your bloke head. Do what their will emblazoned on the back of his denim jacket. Well, the Led Zeppelin fan. That's the thing. Suppose meant to punish and rehabilitate. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? They do rehabilitate people, and they say, "What's the point of rehabilitating people if you're never going to let them out? If you're going to give them life entirely?" So, if you can be rehabilitated, and even if you are rehabilitated, do you deserve to get out? But I don't know. I think these people were so young and so messed up mentally by drugs at the time and all that, and the weird mindfuck of Charles Manson. I think that wasn't taken properly into account at the time, and I think they've done enough time now. Except Tex. Tex is the only one I think shouldn't ever get out. He should have to die in prison. You want the girl to do what they were emblazoned on her underwear? Well, you can probably buy that now somewhere, can't you? I bet someone's made it. Yeah, another photo. This is the one that's the set of, yeah, orchestra on the set of Lucifer Rising, Russian Embassy, San Francisco. So yeah, if they're in it. You don't think Patricia does either, yeah. Yeah, well that's the other one, isn't it? Yeah, where it's hard to say because she did so much as well. And she was the one that did all that to Lino LaBianca in it, carving war into him and sticking the fork in him and all that. It was unnecessary, wasn't it? But yeah, they thought they had a reason to do it, didn't they? Yeah, that's an album cover for them. Yeah, so he did albums with this band as well. You can look this up. That's another album cover. I don't know if he did that art as well. It does look like his art if you've seen any of his art. Mm. I'm not sure who he meant. If he meant Arthur Lee or if he meant Bobby. Clarify that, yeah, because I've never heard anything bad about Arthur Lee. I know he went to prison, but I thought that he was actually covering for someone else when they got arrested and didn't realise what would happen and ended up doing a prison sentence when it wasn't even him that had done it. And it was weird because no one had even been shot or anything anyway. A gun had just been discharged. You wouldn't think that it would result in like 10 years or whatever he got. Yeah. Yes, and I'm not sure if that is Lucifer. I don't know if he's actually in Lucifer Rising. I don't think he was. That doesn't look like Invocation of My Demon Brother, though. That's not what he's wearing. So I'm not sure where that's from. But I think it might be Lucifer Rising. But I didn't think he actually appeared in Lucifer Rising. I know he did the music for it. I could be wrong, though, because I've only watched Lucifer Rising once, so I wouldn't know. Hmm. I'm not sure what year. Does it say what year that's from? No, it doesn't. But that looks later, doesn't it? That must be in one of the prison bands, presumably, because he looks older there, doesn't he? I'm not sure. A double neck guitar. Wonder if he made that as well. In this, doesn't say with the sister. No, it doesn't say. Well, it must be obviously in prison and yeah, doing some music mixing stuff, recording stuff by the looks of things. Yeah, there's tapes there, doesn't he, in a mixing deck by the looks of things. Yeah, Jailhouse Rock. Yeah, I think that's the end of the pictures for this one. Oh no, here's a picture of him closer to now. Let's say what year that one was. 2014. So well, still, yeah, what, 11 years ago now. Let's get to the end of this one. So yeah, there's a whole article there. I won't read it out. I just want to show the pictures. Oh yeah, look at this. This at the end of this article, it gives you all his website. He's got a YouTube channel apparently, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and official website. Which that's linked in the description. So it's a psychedelic baby one. This one's just got a couple of his paintings and links to his website again. Yeah. She was going to angry, didn't she? Yeah. Oh, is that the picture here? Yeah, this is his art. That's it on his website. There's loads of. I didn't look through all the pages. I just looked at the first page. Yeah, there's like links everywhere. Yeah, I did find a single of Gypsy. Yeah, on it's on YouTube. There is a song. Yeah, one of the songs she did. At least one of them. Yeah, is on YouTube. You can find it. Yeah, because she actually showed up with Bobby as well, didn't she? Apparently. Oh, what? Is use of what? Standing and doing a dance or smiling and doing a dance, or standing in front of burning houses. Oh my god, he sounds like a pretty terrible one, yeah. But he might have no choice but to let Bobby go like with Leslie because Bobby was actually only sentenced to 12 years at the end of his third trial. Because like Leslie got 20 to life at the end of her third trial, so she should have been let out sometime in the 90s, and he really should have been let out sometime in the 80s. So it's only his notoriety. And there's obviously men that have done a similar thing to him that have been let out way before this. So yeah, it's a debate, isn't it? It's just because his crime was so notorious. Because like, arguably, anyone that's taken a life should be kept in prison for the rest of their life, shouldn't they? You know. So what's the line? You know, is it Margaret Atwood? Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at it. I was thinking, is it something to some kind of could be Susan, but he's changed it enough so that it doesn't look like her enough. You know what I mean? That's what I thought. Is it some kind of harking to Susan? Kind of looks like Betty Davis, that sort of figure, doesn't it? Or oh, you know, the old sort of burlesque or fetishy models that they were. I forget her name. What was her name? Betty Page, I think it is Betty Page. Should I say Betty Page? Yeah, it does kind of look like Elvira, doesn't it? I thought that as well. Not got big enough tits though, has she? Yeah. Yeah, Gypsy did sound good. I remember the record that I heard. Yeah, she did sound good. Yeah, she did sound bad. Yeah, she does kind of look like a vampire as well, don't she? Yeah, she's very pale. Is that a glass of blood she's got there as well? Is that wine? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, it looks like a vampire, doesn't it? Yeah. And there's one more painting on this page. Oh, there's 3 there. Yeah, and you can just click. There's a link down there to see his whole website. Very nice if you click it. Yes. All right. Wow. Yeah, that's it. I like that one actually. Kind of like the top hat from the photos that he's in. Yeah, and was he wearing those type of shoes? Is that a reference to that photo of him with the top hat? Isn't? Who knows? Oh. Yeah, he's good. There's the amount of detail in them and that. Yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah, she does look like. What do you think it is? Just a copy of her, is it? Yeah. It does look. She did look like a vampire, definitely, didn't she? Where is it? Go back to the original. Another one. Oh, this one looks a bit more. The mermaid. It shouldn't be too strong for YouTube, surely. Hmm. Yeah, the late night horror film hostesses there were a lot, weren't they? Yeah. So I follow a lot of horror pages on Facebook now, so you hear about a lot of them. Yeah. It's obviously the very famous ones, aren't there? But there are ones that must have been, uh, you know, less well known, more regional that I haven't heard of. As you show, oh yeah, I read out that article again, and I think it went well this time. I was watching the chat. No one complained about the sound. Yeah, I think it worked when I read out the thing. And this is one of Bobby's paintings, and we're just looking at some of Bobby's paintings here. That's it, and this is going to be quite a short one, and I'll go to an after show soon. So yeah, it was just an addendum to the other stream because of that article didn't get read out. Yeah, it was just like he was rehabilitated by the 80s. Basically, it's what the parole board was saying. So it's strange. It doesn't sound good tonight. I had turned it down last week as well. That might have affected the sound quality and made it hard to hear what I was saying, even when it was good. But that went really weird on that article. It's like a ghost in the machine or something. And it was only when I was reading that article it returned to normal. When I stopped, didn't it? It's really bizarre. Yeah. Yeah. And then she's done a video about Betty Page as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think it's with a Y in it. She spelled it. I don't know. There's another image, isn't there? Let's have a look at it bigger. How big as he gets? No, it gets a bit bigger. There you go. See, I like the light in this one as well. It's all very good. Synthesized light, synthesizer lines kind of looks like, doesn't it? The amount of detail in the hands. You got a lot of time to sit and add detail there. Quite late here. Hmm. Oh, wait, you know her nieces. They said she was crazy, yeah. God, I'm sure by the time she was getting old, yeah, she would have been, wouldn't she? So she wasn't acting when she played a crazy old lady for the rest of her life when she got older. Yeah, that was what I had to show anyway. So yeah, I can end this because I just wanted to read that article out. Thanks for showing up, and I'll do a little after show. Give me 5 minutes because I haven't eaten anything yet since I got home from work. Oh, she did stab a guy and spent time in the loony bin. Wow, I hadn't heard that about her. Yeah, yeah. All right. Elvira nicked vampire as acted she? Yeah, yeah. Well, she was. It was all about her bust size, wasn't it? I think. Yeah, with Elvira. That was her. Yeah, that's it. This was just going to be a short one anyway, so I'll end it now. And I'll come back and do an after show in a minute for anyone that's interested in that. Okay, and thanks for coming. I didn't expect to even get 36 people. Right. No waste. Which one? Vampire or Elvira? So Elvira did, didn't she? I think, yeah, she had a small waist as well. That was the thing, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Right, anyway, yes, like I said, I'll end this and I'll do an after show in a minute. Just give me 5 minutes. And yeah, I'll make sure all those articles are linked in the description if you want to read them. And the subreddit, I'll link the subreddit as well. Have a look, because you can see everything that I'm doing, I share on the subreddit, and you don't have to be a member of Reddit to look at that. Okay, yeah, I would like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And thanks for watching all the way to the end if you're on playback. Right. Good night, and I'll see you in about 5 minutes if you come to the after show.